6 weeks. Of course, we wasn't preventing, but we also wasn't trying because with me, I have PCOS. So I have a little bit of issues of getting pregnant. After having Madison last year, um, she turned 1 in March. So we knew we wanted to have more children, but um, I guess it was just we would get to spend a little time with Madison and then started planning again. When you have all these plans, it doesn't never work out your way. I guess it works out in God's way, and God does whatever He decides He want to do. So my first, I didn't really have any, not symptoms, but I have my period tracker. So I noticed I was 5 days late. I was probably 4 days late when I noticed it. And then I was thinking, oh, okay, here we go again. I'm a full-time manager. I work 6, sometimes 7 days a week. So I'm always under stress. So I was thinking, and normally, my cycle will change. I think everybody's changed, really. You know how 1 month, or as the months go on, your cycle change. So I just thought that maybe that's what was going on. I didn't really think about it. When I was about 7 days late, I was a week late, and I was thinking, that's a little strange. But I was thinking, well, that has happened before, but it only happened when I was doing this body detox a couple of years ago. So I still didn't think, I was thinking, well, where is my cycle? But I didn't think too much of it. And then happened to, I think, check it again days later, and I was 10 days late. So, that is so crazy. So while at work, actually, I went to a dollar store and got a pregnancy test. And then I was thinking, I'll just take it the next day. Well, for some reason, I think I was on my lunch break or something. I took it about 6 or 7 o'clock at night. I took it in the restroom at work, which was crazy. I was trying to kind of hiding it in a way because I didn't want the girls to be like, ooh, what are you doing, or what's going on? So I had, I guess, put it back in a bag, and then because I really didn't think that it would be positive, I just thought that I was stressed out. So remember, I went back and I looked at it, and I was sitting there like, what is this? I had 2 lines. And I was like, oh my goodness. But then, of course, I still didn't want to say anything. So I was trying to be calm, collect at work. So then, of course, a million things going through my mind of planning or what's going to happen. I need to tell my husband. A lot was going through my mind. So when I went back on the floor, trying to act cool, even though I'm in my mind screaming like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. So remember thinking, because we had went off of, I had my own insurance at work, but this year in January I switched over to my husband's insurance. So for me, it was easy to call my doctor's office, do everything. But with him, since he had just got the promotion and everything was changing over, he was with a new insurance company. So I'm like, oh my goodness, I need my card. I need, something I have to give the doctor, make sure they take the insurance. So I didn't want to tell him, but then I was like, how in the world can I keep it? Because I need to try to get this information from him, in his job. So anyways, so it wasn't the way I wanted to do it at all. It's like I came home and I was panicking, didn't know what to do. So I had his cell phone and I was trying to figure out a way to tell him or come up with something, and nothing was coming to mind. So he was holding Madison, and I was messing with his cell phone, but I had put his cell phone on silent. So I sent a picture of the test. I sent that to his cell phone. So then when I handed it to him, I was like, oh, you have a text message. So when he was looking at it, he and I'll put a clip of that because it did not go the way I wanted it to. When he was looking at it, he was like, who sent me, who's pregnant now? Because there's some other people in our family that's pregnant as well. And so he was like, "Who's pregnant now?" And I can just remember his face, which will pop up in a minute, of him looking like, at that time I was thinking he was like, "Oh my goodness." I didn't know what his reaction was. Just when y'all see his face, you'll understand. I had no idea what his reaction was going to be because I was a little took back because I was like, "What is he thinking?" And then my phone died.
Birth certificates and all this stuff.
Somebody just text you.
Somebody text me. Who just told me they pregnant? Who this from?
So I finally told him. Since it was late, my doctor's office was closed. So the very next day, I called my doctor's office, and I love my doctor's office. As soon as I called the lady at the front desk that does everything, and I was like, "Miss Amy, I need to come in," and she was like, "Okay, what's the matter?" And I was like, "I think I'm pregnant." So she starts screaming. I can hear her telling the other girls in the back, and they were screaming because my pregnancy with Madison was so, I don't want to say horrible, but oh my goodness, I would never want to go through that again. I was glad I held her because our previous pregnancies didn't go so well. I was glad that I was going through everything that I went through with Madison, but it was the craziest roller coaster ever. So that just said Madison was going to be my only baby. I didn't want to go through any of that again. I just had last year was a hard time for me. It was a very hard time for me and my doctor's office. It feels like, well, I was there at least once a week or twice a week because that's how often we did my checkups. We did some blood work, and then we got to do an ultrasound just to make sure to see if they can see baby. But they was telling me, don't worry, because sometimes, because we wasn't sure how far along, but I knew I was early. We might not see baby, or see the baby in the sac, or see a heartbeat. So which was still nerve-wracking to me because of just one of my pregnancies. We went in, and during the ultrasound is when I was told, they didn't see a heartbeat at 11 weeks. So going into an ultrasound room for me is like horrible. It's horrible. Like, I had the worst feelings ever, just terrified. And I wouldn't look at the screen because I was so scared that, I was going to go through what I went through before. So before the tech can say anything, my husband was like, "I see a heartbeat." So I was able to breathe. It was just like, I was like, oh, thank God. So we seen a heartbeat on that day. I was 6 weeks, maybe 6 weeks and some days. I'll insert a clip. Fully remember. But so we did blood work, which was the HIV testing. My doctor put me on a 24-hour urine analysis. It was the sickle cell test, and it's just all the tests that they do in the beginning. So we was waiting on those things to come back. And with the 24-hour urine they put me on, sorry, my battery died. Okay, but basically I get eclampsia, which is high blood pressure at times. So they wanted to go ahead and do the 24-hour urine test, which will kind of, I guess, tell them if it's early signs. So we did that. We went ahead and set up with me. Well, I think anybody can do it, but at 10 weeks they can do the chromosome testing, which was end up being my next appointment. We did the chromosome testing, and they checked the urine analysis. So with the chromosome testing, it also gives you the genetics of the baby. So I tried to come up with a great gender reveal, but for some reason things have not been going my way. Just for some reason nothing has been going my way. So my husband kept asking, with the chromosome testing, it took me about 2 weeks to get my testing back. So within those 2 weeks, I was driving myself crazy. He was driving me crazy. Everybody's like, "Have you found out yet? What's the sex of the baby?" So I kept calling, and then it was like the nurse was never in the office. So finally, I called one day, and someone that I do not know, a new lady in office, answered, and she was able to give me the answer, um, which is a boy. So that's crazy to me. And then I was thinking, how am I going to tell my husband? Well, the day I found out, I was trying to keep it a secret. And then he had asked me if I knew the sex. And then I was like, no, they'll call me. They'll call me. And got an attitude about it. And then I started feeling bad because I was like, let me just tell him. So I went and got this like dollar store by where I work had silly string. So I said, you know what? I'll just get some blue silly string and then surprise him, spray him or something. I'll insert a little clip of that. But that did not work out the way I thought because the silly string came out white instead of blue. And I was like, how long have they had this can of silly string? But it's like when I was spraying at first, it would not come out. And then finally when it came out, it came out white. So I was like, okay. Towards the end, I'll have to put a little clip on the can. Like when I ate a close up, you can tell it's baby blue. So he was still a little confused in the beginning, but I'll put a little clip of that or you can watch the video of it that's already up.
Don't because we love you. And you're gonna be the
Somebody want a white baby?
A twin, I guess.
where is it?
I think it's all out because you was
It's light blue.
So after the 10 weeks checkup, we had got to get another ultrasound, and baby was still doing good. I was nervous about the next week because that's, I lost a child at 11 weeks. So I have like these checkpoints in my mind. It's like, let me make it past 6 weeks. Let me make it to 10 weeks. Let me make it past 11 weeks. And then my son, I had him at 26 weeks. So now in my mind, it's like, I need to get past 26 weeks. I need to get past 26 weeks. But he passed away after 2 months of being born. So, and then after 26 weeks, I'm like, okay, the next point, let me see if I make it to 35 weeks, then I'm in a better safe zone. So in my mind, I have these several little checkpoints. But like the symptoms, that lightheaded, very dizzy, very nauseated, like all the time. It was just like a constant every day. It's like, I wasn't throwing up, but I was just extremely nauseated all day long. It was frustrating. I didn't want, I would get hungry, but then it's like after a few bites, I would feel extremely full. So it was like I was hungry, but I wasn't eating as much as I normally eat. With this pregnancy, I love sweets. Like, I'm a big sweet soda drinker. I know that's horrible, but I am. And with this pregnancy, baby does not like sweets. Baby does not like the taste of soda. It's like I have that really, really, really horrible, like that metal taste in my mouth. So everything tastes horrible. Like, how you could taste food and it's good, but then that metal taste hit it and just mess up everything. But with this pregnancy, it's like I don't eat much. Taco Bell, I crave Mexican food. Like I can eat a chicken quesadilla every single day. I just started eating pizza, but then it kind of, I don't know. It's like sometimes it's like before I get the pizza, it's like I want pizza, and then when I take a few bites, I'm like, okay, I don't want this anymore. So that's something I'm going through. I'm also having issues with this pregnancy. Well, with Madison, I had issues with my gallbladder, so I had to go and get an ultrasound on it. I'm waiting on that test results to come back, so I'll update you guys on the next one. I'm having very bad heart palpitations, like to the point that it will take my breath, away. So I go to the cardiologist next week, so that will be on my next update. I get very bad, when I'm pregnant, I get very bad back pains and kind of like that sciatic nerve pain that runs down the back of your leg. So I've been getting that. So I go to a physical therapist twice a week, which is amazing. It is so much better. With Madison, I was just in constant pain. I wish, well, they did suggest the physical therapy. I just didn't go. I don't know why. But I'm so glad I listened this time and went. My doctor wanted to start me early so the pain won't get bad. So thank God for that. Nails is growing extremely fast, and I am not the one that have nails at all. Like, they're thick and I love them. They're growing extremely fast. I have very bad heartburn at times. I have no energy. Like, I'm always tired from the beginning up until now. I'm still very tired. I'm hoping that within this second trimester that I get some type of energy back. The doctor says sometimes that women pick up energy in the second trimester, so I'm hoping that I do pick that up, because working is, it's like I get to work and I'm just like, oh, I can't do anything. I don't feel like doing anything. I just want to get into bed. My boobs hurt so bad. It's like as soon as I found out I was pregnant, it was just like, it just hit me. Like, it hurts to the point that, like, it's like a burning sensation. Like, I thought something was wrong. And it's like, if Madison, you know, if she lays on me and hit them, it's just like the pain just does something to my soul. It hurts so bad. So I'll be glad when that go away. I didn't have that with Madison at all. Compared, this pregnancy is a lot, even though I'm having the issues like with physical therapy, my gallbladder and my heart, it's a lot better compared to my pregnancy last year with Madison. With Madison, I had motion sickness. I couldn't drive. Like, my husband or my mom would drop me off at work. Threw up all day long, constantly. I'll eat something, I'll throw up. I was sick all day long. I had these horrible, I have been having very bad headaches, but not as bad as they have been with how bad they were with Madison. It's like I had very bad migraines to the point that, like, I have to shut off all the lights, lay in a room, to the point that my face, my left side of my face had swollen, and I had to get like a CT scan. It was horrible. I love my baby to death, but that pregnancy compared to this pregnancy is so much better. So I am happy for that. I don't know how I'm going to feel next week or at the end of this trimester, middle or end of this trimester or third trimester. I don't know if any of those things are going to hit me, but right now compared to that pregnancy, it is so much better. So that's why I was thinking in the beginning, I was like, it has to be it. Maybe it's a boy, because it's completely different from when I was pregnant with a girl. So I'm very happy about that. So I try not to get frustrated with the things that I'm going with. I'm just trying to deal with it, because the last pregnancy had me crazy. But I try to do my updates after every doctor's appointment. I go back to the doctor June the 7th, which is in 3 weeks. So I will update you guys then. When I go back to the doctor, I'm going to be 17 weeks. If you have not joined this family, please subscribe, follow along. I would love to have you here, and I will do my best to keep up with, unlike what I did with the last pregnancy, do my best to keep up with my pregnancy updates, and I will see you guys in a couple of weeks. Bye.